the night the river refused blood. They said the gods never sleep, but that night, even the gods turned their faces away. The moon hid behind swollen clouds, and the wind crept like a thief through the tall elephant grass. Crickets stopped singing. Frogs swallowed their crooks. The forest, that loud breathing forest, became silent, as if every leaf was afraid to move. It was the night of the offering, and the blood was not accepted. In Umuaka village, by the foot of the great river Okija, people feared the night of sacrifice more than war. Every seventh planting season, one maiden, pure and untouched, was chosen to walk into the river shrine with the elders. She would kneel before the black stone idol of Ezenwani Nukumiri, the goddess of the deep, and a ram would be slaughtered beside her. The river would turn red for a few heartbeats, a sign the goddess had drunk her fill, and the maiden would return untouched. But this time, the river refused blood. The chosen maiden's name was Obianuju, barely 17, her beauty like the soft light of dawn. Her mother wept and tore her wrapper when the priest's staff pointed at her. She begged the gods in vain. Even her father, a warrior who had fought the great Ekene War, could not speak against tradition. That evening, the entire village gathered at the riverbank. Torches burned low. The priest, old Dibi Anjoku, stood in his white chalk and raffia skirt, his eyes distant like one who listened to voices others could not hear. The air was heavy, swollen with something unseen. He raised his staff and spoke. Tonight, the goddess must drink, or the river will rise and swallow us all. The gong sounded 3 times. The ram was dragged forward. Obianuju knelt, trembling. The crowd hummed ancient chants. The priest lifted his knife, his hand steady. He had done this for 40 years. The blade came down, and blood spilled onto the river's edge. But the river remained still. No ripple, no red wave, no whisper. Then something strange happened. The blood, instead of flowing into the water, began to crawl backwards, away from the river. It slithered like a living snake through the sand, thick and dark, retreating into the forest path from which they had come. People gasped. The torches flickered violently. The priest's hand began to shake. He stammered, his voice trembling. Ezenwani refuses. The river has refused blood. A deep rumble rose from beneath the ground. Not thunder, not an animal, but a groan, like something ancient awakening after a long sleep. The river began to bubble, black foam rising, the air smelling of iron and rot. Obianuju screamed. The ram's carcass twitched. Its eyes opened, empty white, and then its body began to drag itself towards the forest, leaving a trail of black liquid behind. Women fainted. Men stumbled back. Run, the priest shouted. Run before she wakes. But before they could move, a hand, a human hand, reached out of the river, pale and dripping, and caught the priest by the ankle. His scream tore through the night as the water pulled him under. The torches went out, and darkness swallowed Umuaka. By dawn, the river had dried up. Only cracked sand and fish bones lay where it once flowed. The elders gathered, their faces gray with fear. No one spoke of the priest again. But at night, those who walked near the riverbed said they still heard him chanting from below, calling out to a goddess who would no longer listen. And Obianuju, her mother found her 3 days later, sitting upright at the edge of the forest, her hair matted with dried blood. She was smiling, but her smile was wrong. Because when they looked closely, her mouth was filled with water, black, still water, as if she had been drinking from the river that no longer existed. That was the night Umuaka buried its last priest. That was the night the river refused blood.